begin. We have more Sprite. Interesting. Diva summon for the... Hey, speaking of Ice Barrier, we got Ice Barrier right here, right now. We're going to be summoning the Hexa Spirit, sent from the deck the Ice Mage, searching for the Freezing Chains, which could reborn an Ice Barrier from the graveyard. We're now going to be making a Sprite Sprint. Detach, search our deck for the Caddy, and Caddy's now going to be special summoning. It will be returning back to the hand. Does it have to search if you already have a penny in your hand? If your opponent summons, you get to return this card to your hand, then optionally add a beast. So you don't have to add to then make the penny turn live. If a face-up beast returned back to the hand, you could, whenever you want during that turn, special summon onto the field and then make our level 4 Synchro Disruption, which will be our Herald of Arc Light. So we do have a negate through that. We have Carrots. We have Masquerena, which will be a double Little Knight. So we have about 4 disruptions, 5 if there is a Sprite Red in the grave. There is not. So 4 disruptions plus the Ash Blossom. Let's see what we can do. We're going to be normal summoning our Firewall Guardian. And we also have the Melfi the Forest, which is going to negate. It's not really, I guess, a disruption here at the moment, actually. The Elf reborn, the Sprint. Sprint turns into another form of disruption. So we're actually now up to 6 disruptions. We're now going to be synchroing with the penny into that Herald of Arc Light. Any monster sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard gets banished instead. So what do? Sprint's going to trigger, spin the Firewall Guardian back to the hand. We're now down to 5 disruption. We're trying to disrupt that normal summon, but we do have subtraction to summon itself onto the field. Masquerena is going to deal with it right here, right now. Little Knight is going to banish it on summon. So the big question is, if they activate Addition onto a monster, can the Little Knight banish that monster and then Addition does not get summoned, right? That's a big ruling question you'd want to know. Target a monster, you get to also special summon this card, so it's also. So, and then if you do, become gain 1,000. So it actually does not stop the summon, so you should not chain the Little Knight to the effect. Addition, but we can negate the summon and destroy it. But it goes to the graveyard. We could use Equation to reborn it, but there's then a Carrot to negate the Equation. We are desperately trying to just summon the Parallel Exceed. All we have to do is perform a Link Summon. With that Link Summon, the Parallel Exceed will trigger to summon itself onto the field, plus summon another one from the deck, and then we pop off. But the normal summon disrupted, the special summon disrupted, our third special summon disrupted, and then we know the Equation will be negated. Thus, we're just going to take this into game 2 going first. Cynet Mining. Discard to search our deck for a circular. There is an Ogre in the hand. Ogre can destroy a monster activating on the field, but does not negate. So we could Ogre this right now if we wanted to. Through losing our Transcode Talker, we still have this Mad Lad on the field, which will be able to negate any spell or trap card. We also have another negate anything with the Super Factorial, plus send a card on the field and hand to the graveyard. And what else do we have that we could send? We could send from the extra deck the Aggregator to negate a card on the field. So we have about 4 disruptions with this field. Now, the big thing here is we do have a Call to the Grave. Unfortunately, the Disave Worm is going to save our Super Factorial from getting fingered. So Super Factorial, target our 3 monsters, attempt to finger, Disave Worm has to protect us just like that, banish in the graveyard, negate that finger. Not happening. So we're now down to triple disruption. As we come forth and summon our boss monster, Laplation. Summon, 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 summon. Laplation on summon is going to rip a card from the field, rip a card from the hand. We really wanted to special summon our Sprite Red and Jet within an open game state, which we're not going to allow them to get there. And we still have our Laplation negate anything, and the Terahertz negate a face-up card in the field. So this, unfortunately, is reborning on activation. If it were instead something like a Spirit Gates, you could chain send Aggregator to negate the effect of being able to reborn a monster from the graveyard, but in this instance, the Aggregator is not going to negate the chains. So what do? Do we Laplation negate? Do we just let it go through? We're going to negate. Just like that, we're not letting them summon their Sprite Red. They desperately just want a level 2 in the field. We know it. They are a Sprite deck, and by disallowing that, we win. Let's hop into game 3. We have Angler plus Jet. Now, the Angler must be sent from the hand or deck to the grave to trigger to summon 2 Nimbles from the deck. Negate that Jet. And, you know, we have double impermanent Droll. And it's crazy that Sprite could just still play right through it, right? Imperm, negate. Well, was only able to play through a single impermanence, but not a second. Thus, we're just going to end on our own imperm plus max C. We just have 1 disruption, but we don't really have plays. This is not good. Nibiru against a Gigantic Sprite in the field. This is pretty much a dead card. Top decking a Circular, though. What the heck was that? Droll and Lock Bird is going to disallow them from drawing per special summon, but it also stops you from searching. So right now the Circular cannot search the deck for a card. As the Droll turns off not only the Max C, but our own searches, we're going to special summon from the graveyard, Shokan into Splash Mage. Splash Mage attempt to reborn. We're holding on to that Imperm. When do we use the Impermanence? Making our Link Decoder, as we now make the Transcode Talker off of this. Triggering the Link Decoder to reborn from the graveyard. Do we negate the Transcode Talker? Yes, we do. Negate. Not knowing that there is a subtraction in the hand to still get that Terahertz on field. Terahertz is coming. So you really have to think about this yourself. Does your deck lose to Droll? And if your answer is no, then you should put Droll in your deck to stop Max C. Terahertz is here. Wiping out that Gigantic Sprite, and we'll also get a Disave Worm into the graveyard for our Spell and Trap card Negate. Very well done. We also have the Aggregator, so we have double Disruption plus a Nibiru, so about triple Disruption. Maxi's a starter. That's it. What can you do? We're going to be searching for a Jet, searching for the Sprite starter. And we're now going to be making our Gigantic Sprite. This is a good opportunity to dump the Aggregator to negate the Gigantic Sprite before it activates. That's exactly what we're doing. We're going to chain Sprite Starter, which we're going to Disave Worm, negate. Now, even after negating the Gigantic Sprite and stopping the Sprite Starter, they're still going to be making plays. What is the play they're going to make? Let's see. And the problem with this is the Gigantic Sprite did not activate. Thus, if we could summon another Gigantic Sprite, it will be activatable. Do we play another Angler? We have Elf. Elf Reborn from the graveyard. Come forward, Jet. We could make a Gigantic Sprite with this. We're making Typhon. Oh my Jesus. Typhon is here, spinning the Terahertz back into the extra deck. This is some basic Yu-Gi-Oh! Going back and forth here. We do have an Impermanence, plus 3,000 attack or more cannot activate. That includes Nibiru in the hand. Cannot activate with the Terahertz on field, even if it has no Xyz materials. What the trash is that? Salamangreat Sanctuary? Huh? That's no good. What, you got that for you linking? To battle we go. Isn't that enough for lethal? Yes, it is. Boda winning despite getting super disrupted on their first turn by a double Imperm, and their Maxi being nullified by a Droll and Lockbird. Good job to both of you. Thank you very much. Let's keep on going. What the heck is this? We said to watch April for Branded, and this is Centurion. Sorry if you wanted to watch Branded. Let's go. Normal summon Mirror Mage pass. Well, you could summon Mirror Mage, make an Almirage, Mirror Mage grab Freezing Chains, Reborn Mirror Mage, then make an Elf, Elf Reborn, make Gigantic Sprite, and there you go. You have a play, but it looks like we're not playing Almirage. Yep. So Almirage was full play, full combo. We have Trudea, which the Imperm is going to negate the Trudea. So a big question would be, should we have used Ogre on Trudea instead? Does it work against Trudea? This is during your main phase, you place this card and one Centurion from your hand or deck. So it has to happen at the same time. If you don't place this card, you don't place a Centurion from your deck or hand, because it says and. It's got to be both of them. It's like a Little Knight having to banish both cards at the same time. So Ogre would have been a good play, in addition to using Imperm. But with the Druid Swarm, and Trudea is now on the field here, Ogre for field spell could be good, but don't we have a lot of ways to stop the field spell from being destroyed? Ogre destroying the Primera from summoning itself onto the field. No field spell search, nothing. The Primera says your level 5 or higher cannot be destroyed. I think it's the Synchro that says your field spell cannot be destroyed. It is the Auxilla. We're going to chain Maxi to the Druid Swarm special summoning itself onto the field here. as we can now make a Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is not going to be used with a light monster, so it does not gain the effect monster protection, but it will still on summon banish the Ice Mage, which we thought could just casually go to the graveyard and search our deck. Not happening. Set the Imperm pass. I was asking on stream. I had a Super Poly and an Imperm. I asked everyone, should I set Super Poly, keep Imperm to discard, or set Imperm? They all said set Imperm, so I did the opposite, and it still worked out. Cool story. Summon the Maxi, special summon the Jet. This is a problem. We have Imperm, but they have multiple ways to play through it. We have starter, some for the deck, blue, searching our deck. We're just sitting on that Imperm. What do we do? There's too many special summoning. And now we have a negate for that impermanence with the carrot. So the Imperm is now dead. The Chaos Angel, you can click on it to see that it's not protected from effect monsters. Holy moly. Now, you would be able to Super Poly this. You could Super Poly the Gigantic Sprite. You could wait for its activation. It's hard once per turn effect so that they don't summon another one. Using the Jet and the Gigantic Sprite, they would not be able to use the carrot, and Super Poly was the correct play. Damn. Summon from the deck an Ice Barrier, get the Ice Barrier in the graveyard, search our deck for the Freezing Chains. And what they're doing in the TCG with the Ice Mage is they are making a Totally Awesome. So even more reason why the Totally Awesome is not going to get unbanned. Carrot, negate the impermanence. How are we dealing with the Chaos Angel though? Reborning the blue, Chains reborn the Ice Mage, as we further Shokan into Masquerena to make a Little Knight during the opponent's turn. We're now making Melfi of the Forest. Melfi of the Forest going to be detaching, searching for the caddy, waiting for the opponent to summon a monster to then turn into a level 4 Synchro. And what did we accomplish here? We have Little Knight into, oh my gosh, Super Poly is going to be fusing up the field before we even count up the disruptions here. What are we fusing into? There's a fire, there's 2 earth. So we can fuse the Melfis away, get the Melfis out of here, that we still have the Masquerena. We can still Elf Reborn the caddy to turn into a disruption. So let's just see what happens. Fuse it up. We are using Earth Golem. Not a lot of people play this. Generally, you could only fuse the same attribute together unless you play something like Earth Golem, a Cybers plus a Link monster. So generally, what would be good here is a Masquerena and an Apollo USA. Think of a super thick Apollo plus a Masquerena again fused together with. That's great. Earth Golem, that will trigger the caddy, return back searching for the penny. Melfi of the Forest could turn off the Earth Golem from being able to attack. Yes. Target a monster cannot attack. Also, it is negated. Sure. As we further Shokan into Herald of Arc Light, which the Chaos Angel could just easily destroy. Yep. It's about to go. Take that out. The Freezing Chains is only on activation to reborn a monster. Otherwise, its continuous effect is nothing. Little Knight is here on summon. We're going to be banishing that Melfi of the Forest out of here. Triggering the Ice Mage to grab a Hexa Spirit. So, do we have another Freezing Chains in our deck? Probably not. We're going to just go straight into a Typhon. And Little Knight can't do anything to this. You're not activating anything. You're just summoning Typhon, swing over, wipe it out. 3,000 or more attack cannot activate no matter where it is. Off the top of the deck, we have a Phalanx, which could temporarily banish a monster. And it's different than Little Knight. Little Knight does not banish then special summon. It banishes then returns to the field. Phalanx must special summon the monster back. So if it's not a legally special summon monster, not summoned properly, then it doesn't get special summoned back. 2,900 to the face here as we further go into a Zeus. With the Zeus, we are ready to send all other cards on the field to the grave as we top deck an Ogre, which is no good here. Focus. Off the top of the deck, we have a red. Summon our red. To battle we go. This is enough for lethal damage as we use the Phalanx, banishing that Zeus until next turn. What can we top deck into? We have a Secret Gamma Burst to boost up that red by plus 1,400. Special summon that Zeus back. Lubellion sends the grave, searching for our Magna Hut. Magna Hut is going to be banishing the Masquerena. Activate to search our deck. We could have been destroyed by the red potentially here. Actually, red has to tribute off a rank 2, not in another Xyz. So the red has no negate. Setting up the Regained. This is the comeback. Regained's going to be drawing a card every single turn. To battle, no, we ain't battling. We're going to attack position, make our Little Knight. Little Knight on summon. We're going to banish the Lubellion, trigger regained. Regain's gonna be reborning from the graveyard, and with Lubellion being banished, we're gonna draw a card. I can't believe we're not trying to deal with that regained. Draw a card every single turn is the way to get back in this game. Now, Ogre, a lot of people don't think about this. Ogre counters Apollo. Ogre counters Little Knight, unless it is made with a Masquerena. A lot of the times, Apollo's made with Masquerena, but against Yubel, it's not. The Little Knight will not banish anything if you Ogre it, and the Apollo will not negate anything if you pop it. All right, let's go. Both players playing Ogre. What's going on? Everyone's Ogring it up? Now, if Elf were more balanced, it would require you to summon to where it's pointing to, thus you would be able to Ogre it, then stop the summon, but they didn't even care to balance it. Reborn from the Graveyard Beaver. Gigantic Sprite gets stopped by Ogre. Oh my gosh. It detaches by effect, not cost. Thus, no summon from the deck. Banishing Little Knight from the graveyard. We already regained, drew a card here. I can't believe we are now going to win this duel. What the heck? I thought Boda had this. We're going to triple Tactics Town, go for the draw too. If they're ever drawing, you know they are desperate. Top deck, double diva, just like that. Ain't no way. How did we win this duel? Taking this into a game 2. Hexa Spirit, send from the deck. We're going to be negating that from sending the Mirror Mage, which would then be reborn onto the field. So essentially think of this as summoning a Mirror Mage onto the field. You have the triple Tactics Talent, looking at the hand, not getting rid of the effect Veiler. Leaving Veiler in the hand to summon the blue, because we know that you can't really disrupt us. You Veiler negate blue, so what? I now go into Elf, Reborn, Gigantic Sprite. Let's do it. And we also have the Freezing Chains. We go Sprint instead if we have an Angler in the deck. Yup, Angler, better play if we have it. Angler summoning a Sunfish and a Beaver. Beaver is, believe it or not, limited. Limited to 1. What the heck? Gigantic Sprite summon a red from the deck. Shokan into the Elf. Let's speed this up. Elf Reborn the blue. We also play Melfi in this deck, so we're going to be setting that up potentially. We're not. Okay, we're going to Masquerena. So with this, we have Little Knight double disruption plus reborning the red as another form of disruption. We have triple disruption versus 3 cards in the hand. Oh boy. Primera on summon, searching for the stand-up Centurion. Now, this does not set up a card into the back row on activation. It has to be activated in open game state. Thus, we could take advantage of that fact by taking our time to reborn from the graveyard, Masquerena, Little Knight, banish it off the field. But another copy can be activated from the hand. So this could be a debate. You have to think, if they have another copy, banishing the first one's not going to be good. Or you actually don't want to wait for a card to go into the back row, because if you wait for it to go in the back row, that's a quick effect to summon to also dodge the Masquerena into Little Knight. We're not going to banish it. We're just letting it go through. Discard, Chain Elf, Reborn the blue. Didn't we have a red? Not reborning red. Okay, sure. Red could tribute Elf. Masquerena could link off with the red. Trudea is going to be summoning itself onto the field as a level 8 or level 4. Come forth, Little Knight. So with this, we are triggering our field spell to perform a synchro. The non-turn player will be the higher chain link. Thus, we could banish the field spell, stop the trigger effect of synchroing, but we could just synchro naturally. We are within our main phase. We're instead going to want to banish one of the monsters, taking out Primera. There we go. Thus, the field spell is going to resolve with no effect. We're going to Typhon, though. Damn, Typhon is cooking. Is Typhon in everyone's deck here? Everyone enjoying Typhon? Do you all like Typhon? Typhon, spin the Elf back, and we have Phalanx to sit on to banish a monster until the next turn. Will it be good enough? Deep Sea Diva. I mean, generally, they get that one body in the field, you banish it, it stops them from summoning a jet, but the Diva's going to get 2 bodies on the field, so the Phalanx is now no good. We are not going to use it as a form of disruption at the moment. Grabbing a starter into blue, then grab Carrot, or going straight into Carrot to nullify that Phalanx. We're going to go blue, then Carrot. That'd be the better play here. Grab that Carrot. Come to me, Carrot. Special summon the Carrot. Shokan into the Sprite Elf. Now the Phalanx is completely useless. Reborn the Masquerena. Now, there's a funny play that could happen here, a situation. And that could be if we summon a Gigantic Sprite with one of our Link monsters, it can't activate because the Typhon turns it off from activating. And that's what we just did. So actually cannot activate, so we're going straight to the battle phase. Wipe out the Typhon, and let's get to it. We have the Carrot pinning down the Phalanx. Carrot could also negate the field spell, but the field spell is only good the turn it's activated. It's not going to otherwise be able to set up a card from the deck into our back row. Making our Melfi of the Force, I mean, there is no way to win this. Oh my gosh, this is way too much. Caddy summoned during the end phase. We have a level 4 Omni Negates. We have the Carrot negate a spell trap. We are scooping it up. Let's take this into game 3. Starting off with our Primera into the stand-up Centurion. Centurion is a fun deck that does not just straight up lose to Max C. The problem with Centurion is if you don't mix it with other engines, it's generally not setting up a ton of disruptions. We're going to call by the grave, finger that Max C as we special summon our Trudea onto the field. Now, alongside our Lubellion and Impermanence, how much extra disruption can we do? Trudea setting up the Emeth, Lubellion, discard to search our deck for the Magna Hut. Magna Hut banishing a Light or Dark from the player's graveyard to get it on the field to then search for Abyssal during the end phase, summon a Lubellion onto the field, set up a Brain of Regained, Emeth special summon for the back row, Shokan into the Auxilla. Auxilla will search for a disruption, and then we'll have another form of disruption through the Auxilla, setting up the Primera through the back row. So generally, a common Centurion play is just 2 disruptions and your turn, which is not enough to auto-win a duel. But alongside that, we have an Impermanence and a Druid Swarm, which will probably not be a form of disruption here. Let's see what we can do. All right. Max C is currently fingered, so that's unfortunate. Top decking a second copy. We are going to... Right, it's fingered, isn't it? Isn't it fingered? I'm pretty sure it's fingered. Yeah, it's fingered. Okay. Double Max C. Trigger the field spell. Emeth is going to push the Trudea back into the back row to continually recycle her. As we now go into our Crimson Dragon. All right, that was enough. Thank you very much.